This is Comic Geek Speak, episode 145. Welcome to Comic Geek Speak. I'm Brian Deemer.
I'm Kevin Moyer. I'm Matt.
I'm Shane Kelly.
I'm Jamie D.
I'm Peter Rios.
You haven't touched this, have you, Shay?
No. Well, yeah. I've been hauling it all over town.
It's emitting radiation.
Yeah, but, like, you know, the good kind, right? Like how they find tumors and gave Spider-Man his powers and stuff.
This episode of Comic Geek Speak is brought to you by Athena Voltaire from Ape Entertainment. As world powers escalate to the inevitability of World War II, another war is being fought between the forces of white and black magic. Nazi occultists race to unlock the secrets of the Hollow Earth and a lost race of supermortals. Can globe-trotting aviatrix Athena Voltaire foil the Third Reich and their insidious plan to conquer the free world? Ape Entertainment is proud to announce the return of High Adventure with the debut of Athena Voltaire, Flight of the Falcon, a 4-issue miniseries debuting in August. The series kicks off with a double-sized first issue, 48 full-color pages for only $4.50. As a webcomic, Athena Voltaire earned an Eisner Award nomination in 2005 and was included in the 2005 edition of the Year's Best Comics, Graphic Novels, and Manga, alongside the works of Jim Lee, Brian K. Vaughan, Kurt Busiek, and others. See what all the fuss is about with a 22-page online preview at www.athenavoltaire.com/preview.html. And then pre-order the comic with the following previews code, JUN062854. Alrighty. You got news for us, Peter?
I had some emails. Hold on a second. Oh, yeah. The runner-up on the trivia contest out at trivia panel out at Pittsburgh sent us an email, and this is what he actually got. He got a $25 in-stock trades gift certificate, and he said, I ended up purchasing Hulk Visionaries, Peter David Volume 3, X-Men Vignettes Volume 1, Flash Race Against Time, Essential Classic X-Men Volume 2, and Essential Marvel 2-in-1 Volume 1. He says, I own all the essentials except for these two, hence the leaning toward Marvel in the contest. Thanks for a great trivia contest. It was fun. Brandon Boetticher, Boetticher, Boetticher. So I thought that was cool. He owns every essentials. Holy smokes.
That's what I got.
That's what it sounds like. We also got an email from Michael Wood from Space Monkey Comics. He says, thanks for the kind words about Hate Your Friends in episode 131. We really appreciate it. We're quite proud of our little comic, as well as loving a time of supervillains. I hope you enjoyed that one as well. It's the first solo project that I'm proud of, so I want to know if the audience enjoyed reading it as much as I enjoyed creating it. I've gotten the Maffood comparison before. I wish I could get my work as smooth and fluid as his. I've always thought it looked a bit like the bastard son of Archie and Batman the Animated Series. Again, thanks for mentioning our little book. We'll be at Space. That was May 13th. Oops. And then probably won't do a con until mid-Ohio. I'm looking forward to future podcasts. Proud to be a fellow geek. Michael Wood. Space Monkey
Where's your mind
Comics. Sorry about that. So that was Jamie, right? You talked about that.
Yep, I still haven't gotten a chance to read that Love in the Time of Supervillains. It is on my pile to read, but I really did like Hate Your Friends, and looking forward to future issues.
We got another MySpace message. This was back in May. Just wanted to send you a friend invite and tell you how great the show is. Keep up the good work. And Matt, don't be so hard on Jamie D. Ollie, a.k.a. Aaron, on MySpace.
Yeah, so there.
Yeah, like I listened to criticism.
Yeah, like, wah.
That only makes him grow more.
Yeah.
Yes, to say, that only adds fuel to my ever-raging fire.
Alright, so let's talk about previews. New previews is out. What do we want to buy?
Justice League.
Yeah, one of each. Exactly.
I'm looking forward to getting that Up and Away trade from the Superman 1 year later storyline. Just to start things off.
Yes, that's been a good story so far. I've been reading it month to month. I don't know. I mean, unfortunately, I just got this book, so I'm looking at it for almost the first time.
Yeah, start at Diamond and go from there, I guess. I mean,
Dark Horse
and go from there.
I'm gonna say it again. I want to from Wildstorm, the Boys, from Garth Ennis and Derek Robinson. But 2 issues ship in August.
I think that one character on that advertisement or that promo looks like Brian.
Really?
Yeah.
It's actually Simon Pegg.
Yeah, Simon Pegg.
He said he did it as sort of like used him as a reference and then it's been twisted and morphed a little bit, so. The Hellboy Companion on page 32, trade paperback, $14.95. Sounds kind of interesting.
You mean the Hellboy? You said Hailboy.
Hail.
I was like, what the heck are you talking
Hellboy.
about?
What the hell?
It was interesting to see
Is
Rex.
that from Monkey Magnolia? Is it?
Yes.
Someone's getting hooked on phonics for their birthday.
It was interesting seeing Rex Mundi now coming out from Dark Horse. I was kind of surprised to see that. It's always supposed to be such a good book.
Who was publishing that before?
I thought Slave Labor was.
That was Image.
What was Image?
Image.
Okay.
Rex Mundi was Image.
Okay. I think it was independent before it was Image too.
Yes, it was. You're right.
That just kind of caught me by surprise when I turned the page and saw that. Not a whole lot. It doesn't look. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff, but I can't really. It doesn't look like a whole bunch of really new stuff from Dark Horse.
There's a kickback hardcover from Dark Horse by David Lloyd. He's the writer and artist. He was the artist on V for Vendetta.
Mm-hmm.
They have it listed as a fast-paced, action-filled noir style 96-page crime thriller from the co-creator of V for Vendetta. It's full color, $12.95, 96 pages. Thought that was kind of interesting.
Wow, damn! I just looked at that picture of the boys, and that one guy is Brian.
Yeah, I know. It's Simon Pegg. Well, it says they have an online preview on wildstorm.com. You can take a look at the artwork and such there, so check that out.
In the Escapists 2 of 6, there is a little section here. It says, also in this issue is a never-before-seen chapter from Men of Tomorrow, Gerard Jones' wildly acclaimed book on the history of comics, in which he unearths some scandalous press on the Master of Illusion. So it sounds like he's twisting some of his non-fiction into fiction, and it should be interesting. I thought that was
cool.
Yeah.
Looks like here on page 30, Jamie can cancel his Playboy subscription because they're releasing just the interviews now.
That's the only reason I buy it to begin with.
I just saw the Simpsons episode where Marge cuts all the pictures out because Homer said the same thing. He was getting it for the interviews, and she cuts every picture out. And he says, "Oh, I don't need these now." Trash.
And for me, as a fan of the Universal monster movies, Dark Horse is putting out a novel called The Bride of Frankenstein, Volume 1, Pandora's Bride. It's written by Elizabeth Hand, and it takes place... It kind of follows the movie, but it's supposed to take place like in the movie she was killed, and then at the end, in the description it says, or was she? So it's a new series of novels that Dark Horse is going to put out. So I'm interested in checking that out.
Yeah, I think that goes along with some of their other ones, some of the, like the Frankenstein one and the Gillman or Creature from the Black Lagoon one.
We have Creeper by Steve Niles for DC miniseries. Looks like another reimagining. Should be interesting. It's not exciting me so much. I kind of like the old Jack, the way they do the Jack Ryder before, and looks like they're gonna do something with this. But we'll see. It's got Giustiano on artwork, and he was on the Day of Vengeance miniseries.
It has a new printing of the Batman Son of the Demon trade, which
in comic book size, it's not even oversized.
Yeah, which they said they asked Andy Kubert was at the DC panel, and they asked him, "Does this have anything to do with what Grant Morrison is doing?" And he said yes. So,
and it's only $5.99.
I thought that was interesting.
If you're a fan of Phil Jimenez, the Otherworld Book 1 trade paperback from Vertigo, collecting his only 7 issues. Hopefully that's a kickoff to him continuing that series. Let's see what else we have here.
I was expecting
who's-
somebody.
oh.
I was expecting somebody for Justice League. Nobody's talking.
I said
about
that first
did
thing
you?
I said,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now, wasn't there was just
Martin Waugh?
Justice League Zero was in last month?
Yeah, that was
Yes.
last month.
Yeah, that was last.
This is number 1.
Because this one they're also offering for 75 cents.
Cool. There's also, I don't remember.
Or no, it's 99 cents because it's 75% off. So it must be. Is it?
It's a $3.99.
$3.99.
Oh, okay. Because of
I don't remember if it's number 0 or I think it's number 1. Maybe it says it in there. But J. Scott Campbell's also doing a different cover to it.
That's 0.
That's 0.
Because this one is Ed Bennis with a variant by Michael Turner.
Oh.
So who's getting the Infinite Crisis hardcover? Anyone?
I don't know. I was kind of hoping for a version with more bang later, but I don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, kind of like that.
They,
'Cause at New York, they asked who would be interested in that, and everybody raised their hand if you had all the
Really?
extra bells and whistles. Yeah, there was a lot of people that raised their hand.
I wouldn't need that.
Cheered
in
about
absolute-
that.
That's not one that I think would...
Well, it depends on what will be included
Yeah.
with it.
another 7 issues.
But it's not like it's been around for 20
Well,
years.
no,
you know,
no,
like
that's
Crisis
just it,
was
right,
around for
right.
so long
good
that
ending.
it's kind of good that you got all the interviews and stuff.
Well, yeah, but look at Hush. That's only been out for...
Okay,
Yeah, but the Jim Lee
I'll
is
rephrase that.
Arnold.
A satisfying ending.
Yeah, satisfying to you.
Satisfying to no one other
No.
than DC apologists.
Now, come on, I was satisfied with that ending. I wasn't here for that episode. I was very satisfied with that ending.
I mean, Hush is understandable because that's Jim Lee, you know, and Kingdom Come has been around, and that's such a benchmark story. But this one, you know, it hasn't had time to be on the back burner enough for people to really clown. I think. Like DC New
wouldn't-
Frontier for an Absolute is great.
I wouldn't
Beautiful.
think they would put that Absolute out now. I'm just not sure if I want to get this. I want to wait a few years and
Right.
see if they do that. Something like that.
But it is 50% off at DCBS, so it's only $12.50,
Ooh.
which is
Yeah, it's worth it.
cheaper than cover price of those issues. You know.
Okay,
So-
you can buy me my copy.
I'll wait for the trade.
You know, I did the math though on the trade. Oh no, this wasn't the one.
She was
Something
crunching
else.
some numbers.
There was something else that I was like, oh, it's 50% off. You know, it was $20, so it was 50% off, so that makes it $10. But I was like,
Right.
if the trade came out at $14.99 and was 40% off, it would be $8.99. So I was like, it would be an extra $1 to have the hardcover now rather than wait for the trade. I can't remember what it was. When we'll get to it later, I'll remember. But
Martian Manhunter 1 of 8.
I just decided that I'm only going to get hardcovers of things that are special for that I kind of feel are really
Like Spider-Man the Other?
yeah. No, like
I'm curious.
like Ultimates, something that it's like that. I like that Ultimates hardcover where it's all 13
Oh,
issues.
yeah. Oversized.
Oversized.
Beautiful.
yeah, that's. I have to get that.
I did the same thing with Supreme
Some
Power.
issues.
yeah, me too.
Things like that I'd like to get in hardcover, but just putting out 6 issues, I don't like that. If you're going to do that, just give me a trade.
I'm curious. I'm really curious what's going to be new and different with Martian Manhunter.
Anybody interested in a new
I don't know.
Trials of Shazam with Judd Winnick and Howard
Look,
Porter?
do you see the preview pages?
It looks nice.
I'd be interested. I mean, I'd love a good Shazam story.
I mean,
Shazam.
I just for that one.
Shazam.
Shazam.
The only thing with that one, I wish. I mean, he looks like he's doing a poor man's Dan Barrington,
Oh.
and I really love Dan Barrington. If they wanted to
Barrington.
do that, then why didn't they just get him? They wanted to go that way with the style. I just would have rather seen that. I love Shazam, but I am real leery of this. I really am. I would have rather loved. I would rather have seen what Jeff Smith was going to do with him than this. To be honest.
Do you
well,
guys
call
always,
Jeff Smith and tell him to get his ass and
I
finish
know.
the damn book.
I know.
Do you guys always refer to yourselves as Shazam? Because
Always.
No,
for
it's
years now, I've been doing
Marvel to
Captain
me.
Marvel.
Yeah.
See, I always do
Captain
Shazam because
I
love
did that.
Captain Marvel from Marvel, so that to
Yeah.
me that's Captain Marvel and Shazam is Shazam.
That's funny.
And plus, I've always grown up. I grew up in the early '70s watching
That quality
Shazam,
TV show.
the
Yeah.
live-action Shazam TV show. So
Well,
to me,
I
he's always
did
been
that, but
Shazam.
then in '87 with Justice League, that's where I started Captain Marvel. So to me, it's always Captain Marvel.
I just call him Billy.
You're on a first name basis with
Yeah.
him.
Well, one of the things you were saying about the Martian Manhunter is they did talk about that a little at the DC panel. And they said he's now more of a Marsh American. They kind of said he always was like a Martian hiding among the humans. Now he considers himself almost human. And they said one of the big draws is now he may find out that he isn't the only remaining son of Martian of Mars.
Of Martian.
Of Martian. Of the planet Martian, yes. Jesus.
Sam Brady's.
The Earth to Mars.
Martian.
I think this Rush City. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting. It, from DC. That's that promotional book that they're. It's also about the car as well as the comic. Like that product placement stuff is kicking in.
I'm trying to decide whether I should buy this Justice Volume 1 hardcover or I should wait until they have one giant hardcover
waiting
of
for
all
one
12
giant.
issues.
That's what I did. See, that's
Just
one I
wait.
would buy all 12 in one big hardcover. That would be awesome.
Don't even bother with that.
Yeah, that I would buy in a big hardcover.
I mean, it's not like they're trying to gauge sales on this for the should we, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I would definitely wait.
Yeah.
Rocketto Volume 1 trade paperback for those people out there who can't
I missed
find
that.
the trade or
Wasn't that solicited already? And this is
I think that was a. Let me see. It's
It was
on
a trade.
page 146.
There was a trade already up because I have a copy of it at home.
This is back in print.
Yep, new printing it says.
Yep. So if you've been looking for those issues here, here's a great way to get it.
It's printed sideways, so I know some people may not like that much. I think it really looks neat. Friend Scott bought it, and I have it at home. I just haven't got a chance to read
who was it? Damon at the con over the weekend had it. Stephanie's friend, and looks good. I looked at it and I was interested. I liked it that sideways. That didn't bother me for that.
Yeah. One thing we kind of went into Image. We didn't. One thing caught my eye was that Pride of Baghdad, the original graphic novel by Brian K. Vaughan, kind of looked very timely, political, and the artwork is gorgeous.
You have the Batman black and white statue from Paul Pope.
I saw that. Even that
cool.
Power Girl bust is kind of cool.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
The
You mean the bust or the actual sculpt?
The bust of the bust?
both. Both. The JSA figures, that Hawk Girl's really
That Hawk
nice.
Girl is nice.
That's
I really want to like that Dr. Midnight, but he looks too big.
Yeah,
He looks off.
That's one I'd love to buy, and I'm like, God, just.
But I'm definitely going to order that Hawk Girl.
Mr. Terrific looks pretty cool.
Yeah, he looks terrific.
I don't like
Even
the Hour
Hourman
Man.
looks kinda cool.
I don't like that all black face.
Yeah, I don't
I-
either. I like the other one, but the sculpt looks cool.
Well, Mr.
It's-
Terrific's black. You can't help it.
No, not Mr. Terrific. Hour Man.
Jesus Christ. Nice.
The Hour Man thing is shiny. If it was like a flat black, it probably would look better. But it's
Yeah.
got like
Like a
that shiny
satiny matte color.
And that could be just prototype. They might change that, but I don't know.
Anybody getting the Flash 13-inch deluxe figure?
I have not gotten any of those. If I was going to get any of them, it would have been that Lex Luthor one.
I
'cause
just can't
it's in
see
that-
$60 for it.
Yeah.
You know, for a 12-inch posable figure, 25, I'd pick them up in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
But for 60,
That all has to do with run. The production run.
I mean the Flash.
Yeah.
Ba-dum-psh.
Nobody's gonna get that.
No, nobody
Nope.
understands.
Dumb
that.
joke.
I don't want to explain that one either.
Tapping into the Speed Force, baby.
Savage Dragon Zero. I don't know what that is. Representing the origin of Savage Dragon.
Raggy.
There's not much from Image that I know there probably are. Some of the stuff is probably really good.
Carrying the pumpkin, baby.
Oh, stealing the pumpkin.
Stealing the
Yeah,
pumpkin.
Liberty Meadows stealing
Liberty
the
Meadows,
pumpkin.
Again, a joke nobody would get.
We can't ever tell them.
I'll never look at Halloween the same.
No.
Battle Pope is coming in.
That is actually a funny book.
I know, people that read it do say it is funny. Robert Kirkman.
No, I was looking at
No.
Fear Agent.
Career agent. Girls.
I think I should be getting the trade of that.
Yeah, I was going to
in
say
another
you
month
got
or
the
so.
trade of that. You waited after the first couple and got the
Yeah,
trade.
I
Didn't
think
you?
it has the first 4. Want to move to Marvel?
Of course I do.
Marvelicious.
Yes, please.
I want to live in Marvel Land.
Check out Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
I saw that. Mysterio is
Yeah.
back.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah,
I don't have the previews. So.
right there.
Brilliant.
I don't have mine either.
Annihilation #1, the miniseries. This is all the miniseries have been wrapped up, and now they're leading into the main event.
Here you go, Matt. Spider-Man Family, Amazing Friends.
Oh, I'm getting that.
I already have it down on the list.
Sean McKeever wrote that.
Yeah.
Me and Matt were talking about that over the weekend a little bit.
Yeah, one of those DVDs for those things, for crying out loud.
How about it? It's been long enough that the 70s Spider-Man sets out.
Did you see this?
60s? Wow.
What's that?
The 60s TV series.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see this Agents of Atlas miniseries? It's kind of interesting. It's the mystery of Marvel's golden age begins.
I saw that and I was like, ooh.
I'm like, I might have to pick that up because that's...
Those are the
artwork,
characters.
Leonard Kirk is doing it, and he did all the JSA stuff for a while, and since this is golden age stuff and his artwork, it suits it very well.
Those are the characters that are in that Avengers Forever miniseries.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh,
In the
really?
middle there, the
Oh, I
Avengers
didn't
of the 50s, they called them in that series.
Like 3D Man and...
Yeah. Oh, no, those aren't their real names. I forget who they are. Marvel Boy.
But this it looks very intriguing. 6-issue miniseries.
I'm so glad that Andrea DeVito is doing the Annihilation miniseries. I didn't like Scott Collins on the first Annihilation prologue. Not that I dislike Scott Collins. Some books he works with and some he doesn't, and I just didn't think it fit. And then when I saw that Andrea DeVito's doing the miniseries, I was pleasantly
What did he
pleased.
do before? I can't think.
Who?
Well, he did Brath for CrossGen.
Didn't he do a Marvel? Wasn't he on a Marvel title?
Who?
Andre DeVito. He did
Thing?
The Thing. That's it.
Dan Slott's Thing.
Yeah, and he also did
He did Thor.
the Beta Ray Bill miniseries, right?
Yeah, he did the mini, and he also did
he did
Mike Oeming
That's where. Okay.
Thor wrap up that
That's
storyline.
That's it.
He drew that as well.
By the way, this Agents of Atlas #1 at DCBS is only 74 cents, so that makes it easy decision.
Pick.
Annihilation, the Nova Corps files, $3.99 to go along with your event.
You gonna be getting that one, Peter?
Oh yeah,
Of course.
I get all their files.
Yeah, I get
Right.
those too. I
The
like
westerns
that. In
and
the
the
back of
monsters.
the miniseries, they have the
Which is
Nova Corps, yeah.
stats.
you know
and
what? What was I asking for in Crisis? They're giving it to me in Annihilation.
Annihilation,
I've been very happy about that.
I actually met the writer who wrote those
Oh, really?
submissions in the back there. Yeah, he's.
They have an example of. Well,
Yeah.
that's actually from the handbook, but
No, and that's what it looks like.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what they all done. I think if I'm not mistaken, along with that Spider-Man and Amazing Friends one-shot, but also this month they're releasing the Kurt Busiek Untold Tales. I think it's like a Visionaries for Spider-Man, which reprints the Untold Tales series that he did a few years ago, which takes place like in between the Silver Age Spider-Man stories that he kind of like filled in between. So it was new stories, but yet it meshed in with the existing. And I really enjoyed that series. It was very well done. It didn't take away from any of the continuity from the existing miniseries, but there were some really great stories in there. So
I think that was an interesting choice to trade. Like I was like, because they're very calculating when it comes to their trades. Sometimes, they don't just put out any trade. Usually, it sometimes means something like they're coming back or whatever. Like the
classic
Champions
run. I
and
mean,
things.
yeah,
So it was interesting to see.
I mean, it's good. I mean, it's quality stuff. I mean, it's and Kurt Busiek, and it's done very well. But I see what you mean. I mean, you look at the old past Visionary sets, and you have Peter David Hulk and John Byrne FF, and stuff like that.
Walt
But
Simonson, Thor.
yeah, I mean, so. But it is worth checking out. If you never got to read those stories, there's an opportunity to pick them up now in a trade.
are any other guys getting Beyond? I picked that up because I'm intrigued because it has Gravity in it, and so I was just I was curious to read more of Gravity.
I if Mike Norton or Sean McKeever would have been involved with it, I probably would have.
No, I'm gonna wait on that one.
I got like a Secret Wars vibe
Really?
from it because they say they pull
The
these
description's
people
pretty similar.
and beyonder. Like I was like, what are they trying to do here?
Yeah, I'm
So,
waiting on that one. I'm holding
Yeah.
off. I don't. It doesn't really.
What about the lineup for Heroes for Hire? For those of you who Heroes for Hire
I'm
fan.
looking forward to it,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that.
especially after what they were doing with Stars of the
Stars of
Dragon.
the Dragon, yeah.
All I know is this preview art in here for the Eternals.
Oh my god, I can't wait for that book.
Oh my god, it's gorgeous.
I wasn't going to get it at first, and then I saw that, and I went, oh, So I think I'm still going to wait for the eventual hardcover.
Well, see, that's what
I'm going to do.
I knew when it was announced as a miniseries, I thought, I'll just wait. That was my initial reaction. But after I started seeing stuff, I'm like, I don't know if I can wait.
Because this will be an oversized
that'll
$30
be
8-issue hardcover, and
50% off.
I hope it has like character concept designs and scripts and all kinds of neat stuff in the back extras.
That's the thing. I love John Romita Jr.'s artwork so much. It's like I want to have that in hardcover.
Yeah.
So I'm totally skipping the issues because I know I'm going to buy the hardcover.
Well,
so I'm not double spending.
The hardcover for the Kirby Eternals. So if I get that, it might be a nice
the sister to
bookend.
it. Yeah.
Mike Norton on Runaways. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying I'm excited for that Eternals. It's something when they first announced it, I was like, oh, okay. But the more I read about it and the more I see about it, it really gets me enthused.
Yeah, speaking of that Mike Norton, did you notice that the sketch that they have in was the one that he posted on our forum like months ago?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
From Runaways.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I know, it's so awesome.
It looks cool, yeah.
I would love if they put him on that book. Oh, baby.
That would make me get that book monthly.
Oh, me too. I love those freaking digests, but man, I would support Mike. Like that's
without question.
Oh, I love it.
And this month is the Ultimate Annuals. This month, you have Ultimates Annual, written by Charlie Houston and drawn by, if I'm not mistaken, is it Mark Diodato?
Mike Diodato?
Yeah, Mike Diodato Jr. And then there's the
and
Ultimate
one of them is
Spider-Man.
Pascal Ferry.
That's I think it's the Ultimate FF one. I think he's doing.
Yeah.
Ultimate Spider-Man Annual is written by Bendis and drawn by Mark Brooks, who did the Ultimate Spider-Man Annual last year.
Yeah.
And then the Ultimate FF, which I don't have in front of me, so I can't.
Are you going to start getting the Sandman statue to go with that whole set that Marvel's doing? No?
It's a neat idea, but I just,
I was just curious.
No, I have. Well, see, I bought the Art Asylum Diamond Select. Their Rogues Gallery sets of minibus, which aren't really mini. They're bigger than the Bowen bus. Uh-huh. And they made Sandman and Lizard and all them, and I like them, and they're really nice. And I look at those, and I'm like, I just prefer to keep the ones
I might get the Mysterio one when that comes out.
Hey, this fourth issue of X-Men Fairy Tales is pencils by Bill Sienkiewicz. Did he? He didn't do the other issues, did he?
No. Each issue is a different.
That's what I thought.
Different artist.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Well, and the other reason I would get the Mysterio too, but I know Randy Bowen's releasing a Mysterio full-size statue.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looks
I
really
didn't
cool.
know that.
So I'm gonna be picking that up instead.
What about that? They have a new printing for Kraven's Last Hunt.
I might get that. I like that story.
Yeah.
I have the hardcover from
before.
Yeah, from before.
I still have the issues.
So, I know what it was now. The hardcover that I figured out would only cost $1 more than the trade is Next Wave, Agents of Hate, Volume 1. You know, I like I said, I read the first issue and I was pleasantly surprised, so I wanted to pick up the trade. So I probably spend the extra $1 and just get the hardcover. Reprinting of Kraven's Last Hunt. What about the Spider-Woman Origin Premiere hardcover? You gonna get that, Kev?
I'm gonna get the trade on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy the hardcover on that.
That's another one. Let's see what the price is on that.
Yeah, maybe
So I mean, if it ends up costing $1 more, you might as well get the hardcover.
I've done that with other things, so I'm not opposed to it.
Oh wait, that's the wrong one.
Yeah, they put the wrong picture on DCBS with the posting.
Yeah, okay.
So it throws you off. You see the picture and you look at the price and it's like $4 something. I'm like, yeah, I'll take that.
It'll be $11.99. So that's like $4 more or $3 more than the trade. So I'll probably wait on the trade myself.
I can't wait till her series starts with Bendis and Malev.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see that come out.
What does DCBS have for the Century trade?
Oh yeah, I think it's 40% off. Because I was looking at that myself. Because I don't have those issues.
And I'm ordering the final installment of the Ultimate Galactus trade.
Yeah, me
Ultimate
too.
Extinction trade comes out, number 3, so I'm
Yeah,
picking
I'm
that
reading
up.
that one as it comes.
The Century trade is $13.19, 40% off.
That's
Because it's a $22
Yeah,
trade.
it's a $22 trade. So.
You say you've been reading that as it came out, or
No,
or,
I purposely, that was one like Eternals. I was just gonna wait for the trade. I read too much as it is.
All the Decimation X-Men trades are coming out now. 198, Sentinel Squad 1, and Son of M.
Son of a...
This is one of these months where I'm just like, Marvel's hammering me with the trades that come out. I added up just the trades today from Marvel and DC, and it was like $60, and I try to spend $50 a month. Yeah, right. You know.
And then you have the Iron Man Inevitable trade with Joe Casey, which is that kind of like the fill-in of, the series they put out, that mini-series they put out to kind of help appease the Iron Man fans while they were waiting for the Warren Ellis and Adi Granov.
They have to come up with something good to get me to buy Iron Man again. I love that character, but it's just like it's been floundering for so long now.
Well, I'm waiting for the trade for the Extremix storyline, and now it's monthly again, so now it's back on track again, but I'm waiting to read that.
And we're missing the most important thing from Marvel. Essential Luke Cage Volume 2.
Sweet Christmas!
I read half of that first Essential. It's good stuff. It's fun. Yeah, it really is.
I have those issues.
Yeah, I just put together an entire run of that book right as they put out the Essentials. Like, son of a...
Anything else from Marvel?
Did you see the Werewolf by Night mini bust?
Yes, I did.
Or the Red Skull?
The Red Skull statue from Randy Bowen.
I like that.
And that looks really cool. And it has a change-o head, so it has two different head sculpts. So it's like how you prefer to visualize your Red Skull. One looks more like an actual skull, and one looks more like
modern or Golden Age.
Well, it looks more like it used to look in the comics.
Yeah.
But it looks kind of cool. I was kind of hoping they would do him in the old green jumpsuit, back from the older books. But they did it in the old like German garb. He's wearing the black leather coat and the boots and stuff.
For those people who are interested in previous indie challenges, there's several of them that are solicited the next few issues. Revere number 3, Super Teentopia number 3, Athena Voltaire number 1, which we just had an interview with Steve Bryan in our last episode. Black Coat number 4, Horrorwood number 3 is out in this previews. UTF number 3, Mouse Guard 4, Of Bitter Souls 2, Werewolf's Call the Wild 3, Leading Man 3, Dummy's Guide to Danger number 2. I think there's more that I might have missed. No, that's actually it. So if anybody's following along with those. There's also, if you're a George Perez fan, in the magazine section, there's Pace Setter 7. Pace Setter is Tony Lawrence. He's down in Florida. He does basically his own fanzine about George Perez, and comes out irregularly, but it's a pretty decent book spotlighting Perez.
I only have one of those. It's the Teen Titans one. It's really good.
Yeah, he does some good work, and it's all submissions from other people too. Like he doesn't just do it himself. What else is there? The Devil's Due How to Self-Publish trade paperback. Oh, the biggie that I have to get on page 288 from Gemstone, The Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck Companion.
There's a companion. I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's basically like all the stuff that's in between, all the stuff from the main trade.
Oh, that's cool.
And I saw that and went, oh, I might have to order that. And I was like, yeah, I guess I better.
How else you got to understand the whole story?
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of crazy that, Scrooge McDuck has, read between the lines stuff?
It's dense. Well, if you read that trade, I'm halfway through it. It's dense. It is really, it's amazing.
Yeah, I know this is jumping ahead, but when I looked through previews earlier, way in the back is this Superman mural that you can order, and there's a smaller version and a large version, and you can put it on like a whole wall in your house, and I'm like, oh, that's really neat. And it's like $200 and $300. I'm like, whoop, that's out the window. No chance of that going to happen. Because we're making a room upstairs to put all the kids' toys now that they're in bunk beds, and I thought, man, wouldn't that be cool? Because there's a nice flat bare wall up in the one boy's room. Like, oh, but man, there's no way.
Just tell your wife it's for the kids. That's your old excuse.
That won't fly for that.
No pun intended. Also, there's the first complete season of the Incredible Hulk TV series.
Oh, really?
Coming out on DVD. You can order in this month's preview.
If only we had that before this week, we could have got it signed.
Yeah.
For $20, you could have got it signed, probably.
I would have just forged it.
Could you sign this with me?
Dun 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 dun.
On 306, they're offering the Brat Pack trade paperback by Rick Veitch. It's his little spin on sidekicks. From what I hear, it's an interesting story, so it's kind of cool that that's getting back out in print.
And Nat Turner Volume 1 trade paperback from Kyle Baker.
Oh, they have the. This is also the previews that has the very controversial Alan Moore and Melinda Gebbie Lost Girls from Top Shelf.
What's DCBS have that for?
Oh, that's a good question.
I've been curious about that.
That's on page 352.
It's $52.50 after the discount.
What's the retail for that?
75.
Oh.
It's just like 25% off.
Yeah.
Or 33. It's like 33%.
Almost 33.
Yeah, it's like it's probably 30% off.
Page 386. It's Superham. Trying to say two things at once. It's Superman by Tom DeHaven. The soft cover for $13.95.
Oh, which cool. Isn't that supposed to have? Is that the one that has extra?
That's Men of Tomorrow. Or was that Men of Tomorrow? Yeah, because that has the whole son of Siegel, I think.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, stuff in it.
But if any of you didn't read It's Superman, you need to get that book.
It's a great read.
Page 362, Death Note Volume 7 for $7.99.
Yeah, I'll be putting that on.
Let's see. Anybody see anything else? Anything interesting?
Who Knight number 5.
Who Knight?
I saw that in the general comics section. There's now a little icon which I have not noticed before. Maybe I missed it. That has kid friendly around it because it's on the Buzzboy titles that are listed for solicitation and a couple others I saw. So
I noticed now in the beginning of the previews they have a whole list that says
but
kid friendly books.
I haven't noticed that other times I've seen that solicited.
I think this is the first push for that because he has a whole article in the front of about that.
That's good.
That's kind of cool.
God, that Red Skull statue is awesome.
Isn't that neat
looking?
Woo. But I know, Kevin, you're going to get the Wonder Man mini bust, right?
You know,
that's pretty cool, huh?
But
it's kind of cool because
he's in the classic uniform.
Classic
I love that.
red coat and the turtleneck and the glasses
and the little rocket packs on the side.
Yep. For the right price, I'll get it. I won't order it new, but for the right price, I might get it.
I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, for $1.
If only they were all $1, huh?
Oh my god!
I'd make up for it in the display cases I had to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can go through the Indie Challenge picks for this month.
Before something just occurred to me. I showed this to Jamie. He saw it, but is it Tokyo Pop's doing a manga Star Trek, classic Star Trek? That looks a little weird.
Actually, I was going to order it.
Oh, I'm going to order it. It just looks weird. I'm definitely going to order it.
I just want to see what they do with it.
Yeah.
Weren't they the ones who did? Wasn't there like a new Highlander one, even like last month? In last month's preview?
There was a new Labyrinth, but I think I want to say that's
what it is.
I think
was
Viz
it
is doing that. I'm not sure though. I ordered that one too.
For those of you playing along at home, our new Indie Challenge picks for this month. One of them is actually one Jamie already mentioned. Rex Mundi #1. I know it's Dark Horse, and I'm probably going to get people, emails about this. That's not independent, but it was independent
yes, it is
before.
Independent. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Dark Horse is independent.
All I know is when we were at the Comic-Con and I asked for any Dark Horse, they said no, we just have Marvel and DC because we don't have any independents. So
there you go.
There you go.
So that's by Arvid Nelson and Juan Ferreira, and J.H. Williams III does the cover, spinning off of the previous series. A Quest for the Holy Grail or a Murder Mystery, this bold, critically acclaimed series joins the Dark Horse horror line in a Europe where the Catholic Church dominates and sorcery determines political power. Master physician Julian Saunier must infiltrate a mysterious cult with a 1,000-year-old secret that calls into question the root of all power in Europe as well as the origins of Christianity itself.
Messy blah blah.
So that'll be the first one. On page 247 from Boom Studios, we have Whisper #1, which is actually a return for this character. What's that?
So that is an old series.
That's the old from first?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, wow, I have those issues.
They're bringing that back. I saw that. They're bringing that back.
Oh, wow, I'll have to check that out.
Hold on. Vamp. Flipping
Pop,
pages.
pop, 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 pop.
Also, they're soliciting for the Fallen Angel, the Peter David series.
Yeah, I
There's
saw
a trade
that.
paperback for that, so if you didn't read those issues, there's an opportunity to grab the first trade for that.
All right, so Stephen Grant's legendary First Comics heroine is back as an all-new, all-different character. In New Orleans and on the eve of Katrina, a collection of privatized Black Ops agents gather to provide security for a special mission, a drugs for weapons swap. Into this gathering steps a woman, the new Whisper, who may or may not be the woman they think she is. A woman who's supposed to be dead, is very skilled and precise at violence, and seems to have useful gaps in her memory. Whoever she is, whatever her agenda may be, her skills make her invaluable to the man commanding the mission, and he's willing to use her until she runs out of uses. 24 pages, full cover, $3.99.
Is she the best there is at what she does?
The third one is on page 310.
It's like, here's this new heroine, and she has gaps in her memory, and
Yeah. I guess he couldn't grow that back. That's basically what you're saying.
yeah.
On page 310 from Marcosia, Silent Ghost #1 by George T. Singley and Fendo and Brett Weldelay. The first amazing all-out martial arts issue. Kung Fu Master Qin embarks on a deadly journey to save the monk's sacred doctrine from the broken sects of the criminal Viajan Confederacy. Jaina, a female monk from the Confederacy, has other plans for Qin and his enlightened sect, mainly slaughter. Can Qin stop Joang and her deadly monks before they steal the Tripitaka scriptures and destroy all that is? Qin, stop laughing. Only savior may be in a far-off land where the Bushido reigns. 36 pages, full color. The cover really kind of...
I like when they have full covers, because when they're ripped in half, that's no good.
Yeah. I just I saw that cover and I went, oh, that looks really interesting. So I thought, hey, why not? So that's the third.
Didn't realize you don't have to say Tripitaka.
Yikes. And the last one has been getting a lot of press, and it just looks... sometimes it looks good, sometimes it looks goofy, but I was like, you know what? I'm running with it. It's Thrill Comics Sharkman #1 by Ronald Shusett, Michael Tawn, and Dave Elliott and Steve Pugh. Ronald Shusett is a writer-producer of Alien and Total Recall, and executive producer on Minority Report, and Steve Pugh, artist of Superman vs. Terminator and Star Wars, comes the new series Sharkman. This is the story of a death row prisoner forced to protect a utopian society from the cancer of organized crime. Imagine 1930 Chicago crossed with a futuristic Venice, Italy. Tom Gaskill was falsely convicted of his father's murder and the theft of the city's wealth. Now he must protect New Venice City, the ocean city his father built with the help of a submarine designed to be the ocean's greatest weapon. Even from within the confines of the prison, Tom manages to battle the dark forces on the outside. 32 pages, full color. Saw some preview pages from it. It, oddly enough, looks interesting, so I'm like, you know what, why not?
Well, as soon as you said Stephen Pugh, I love his stuff. He is one of my favorite artists on Animal Man, when he was doing Animal Man towards the end. That's some really great stuff.
So there are your 4 choices, and I'll put them up on the news section, and you'll see all the discounts and such, and go from there. And eventually we'll have our All Indie Challenge interview episode somewhere by the end of the month.
All right, this Stump the Rios is from Stephen Atkins, Erasmus, on the forum. Question 1, easy, Independent. In what title could one read stories about RoboCop, James Bond, Star Wars, aliens, and predators?
Dark Horse Presents.
That's correct. Level 2, Intermediate, DC. DC had a title featuring a character called the Vigilante. A couple of issues of that title were part of the Alan Moore DC story collection. Who was the famous writer-editor who co-created the character?
Of Vigilante?
Yes.
Marv Wolfman.
There you go. That was easy for you. Level 3, Difficult, Marvel. Nth Man, the ultimate ninja, had a strange nickname given to him by his sensei. It is based on a legend of a boy who conquered a dragon. What was the nickname?
Pete. Pete's Dragon.
Close. He was called Peachy. After the hero in Legend of the Peach Boy and the Dragon. Honestly, a ninja named Peachy? He says, until Black Panther addresses himself as King T'Challa la 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 la.
That's Cobra la 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 la.
All right, so you got one wrong. That's pretty good.
I was thinking that ninja, you bow at my power of manipulation of fruit.
All right, so next, it's time for story time with Uncle Sal.
We need to get some theme music.
we gotta get music.
Some nice theme music.
Shazam! Shazam!
He gonna kick our ass.
Mr. Rogers. No, it's gotta be like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
That's exactly it.
Well, I was thinking, how does the theme song go to the old Shazam?
I don't know. I don't think it had anything recognizable.
No, nothing that would sound good for this purpose.
Of course, we saw Sal out at Wizard World Philly, but he's also going to be at Mocha this Saturday, which we announced. And
Can Sal come out and play?
I have his cell number. I can call that. All right, thank you.
oh,
Well, I'll say hello to Cousin Buzz as well.
Uncle Sal and Cousin Bud.
was that his wife?
I don't know.
For the purposes of the listeners, yes, it was.
Yes.
This is call attempt number 2.
It's almost like calling Mario.
Yeah.
Bump, 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 bump. It's the Mario Brothers.
Hey, Sal.
Oh.
Hey, it's Brian Deemer. How are you?
What the?
You got that time?
He just flew back today,
He
so.
just said, "Who?"
Yeah,
Right,
earlier
it's
today.
Probably in the probably in the
Oh no,
airport.
here we go. Hey, Sal.
Yes.
Hey, there he is.
How you doing, guys?
How you
Great,
doing?
Sal. How are
Hey,
you?
Sal.
Everybody made it back in one piece?
Semi-awake.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
How was your trip back?
It was bad, man. I made the mistake of letting a Buzz and a couple guys stay in my room last night, and I slept about a half an hour the whole night, and it's like, you know. I'm sorry for introducing Buzz to you guys. It was like when they gave the Indians blankets with the plague on them. Not a good thing. He's a bad influence. That yellow bastard's a bad influence.
That's Sal Abbinanti of Atomika Comics.
Since the new version.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll be serious.
So, let's get the business out of the way.
That wipes my Oriental right off the map. That's all I know.
I love Buzz. I'm just kidding.
So, how was your how was the convention for you?
It was good, man. We went through between like 300 and 400 books. It was a good show.
Good.
Wow.
Excellent.
Yeah, we usually Philly's usually a good show. I usually jump between Philly or Charlotte, but I just been sticking with Philly lately.
That's cool.
It's a little rough because it's close to Mocha, but good show, great town. It's like Chicago, blue collar town, good food, nice people. big asses, though. In Philly. You know, no, I mean, is it just me, or is there just like a lot of healthy asses in that town?
It's all the dairy products. That's the whole thing. Goes right
You know,
to the
and
ass.
this is coming from a guy who's, you know, who kids use my ass as a bicycle rack any chance they get. It's okay. There's just some healthy asses in that city, man. Like the Liberty Bell with the crack in it is kind of a symbolic, you know, thing, like an ass to me when I see it.
Who was it who wanted to go see the Liberty Bell? We should have just sent him over to the Sal's booth.
I don't think I don't. But the funny thing about Philly is I've never gotten out of that 2-block radius of the convention, other than like to go to the Phillies game last year.
Oh.
And whenever I go to the airport, I'm amazed at how much cool colonial stuff they got, like really close to downtown. So.
Oh yeah, it's all right there.
Yeah.
So,
you guys look like you had a good time.
It was a great show.
We had a blast.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody. Did you get all your back issues of Busty or no?
We loaded up on 10 for $1 back.
Yeah,
issues.
they weren't in the
load
dime
up?
box.
I never, you know, I try to grab stuff as I can, you know, but it's like I don't have anybody to. Some shows I usually got somebody working with me, but this show I didn't have anybody working.
You should have called us. We'd have covered.
Yeah, give us a list.
Nah, you know, I don't like to bother people. Everybody's got their own thing going on. I just keep a coffee can or the piss of the can and dump it out every couple hours.
Get your own bedpan under the booth there.
That's right. That's right.
so I have to ask, you were cat-cornered to the Wizard booth there, and what was that like?
Well, with the wheel.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. That's like Thunderdome, that wheel. You know, they line up and they'll drink their own urine for a keychain.
That's right. They sure will.
Like, you know, it's like, well, you know, it's like locate the fecal matter with a blindfold on, and we'll give you like, you know, a
keychain.
Yap T-shirt. And these grown-ups will run around and yell and do it, you know, light themselves on fire, do absolutely anything for the stupid shit that they give them at that booth.
Yeah, between that booth and the Spike booth, man, that's a nutty corner there.
Well, like
Well, the Spike booth, they got money, and it just turned into like, you know, it was like complete anarchy behind me with the screaming and the hollering, but they had, you know, like the Spike girls or whatever the hell it was, and I only caught the tail end of it, but I got the noise. I didn't see what was going on. So.
There was some nice tail there. I'm sorry you missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get to see what it was. I could smell it, but I couldn't see what was going on. It was like the blind man walking past the fish market.
Fisherman's Wharf.
Good morning, ladies. You know? The old blind man joke. I'm sorry.
Hey Sal, I have to thank you. You did an awesome Atomika head sketch in my little sketchbook, and I thank you.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous.
you know, I felt bad because I didn't bring my markers. But anytime you guys want anything like that, let me know because that's why I'm there. You know.
Did you get a lot
to
of
do those things?
Did you do a lot of sketches?
I did. You know, the weird thing about it is that if people don't see you drawing, they don't think or know, or you know, sometimes they just don't ask. But I tell people, you know, just if you want stuff, just bring it. My only request is that they actually have something to draw on, because sometimes they ask me for sketches, and I go, well, you got anything? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, I got a receipt in my wallet I can draw something on, but other than that, it's like you got to at least have a piece of paper.
So,
but you know, I like to be cool about it. I'm just trying to, you know, I'm just so appreciative when people give a new book a shot or whatever, and it comes with the territory. You really got to kind of, you know, do what you can for the fans, especially if they're going to give an independent book a shot. You know.
So this weekend you're going to Mocha, correct?
Yeah, I'm leaving Wednesday. Came to change my underwear and go back.
Reintroduce yourself to your wife.
I'm sorry?
I said reintroduce yourself to your wife.
Reintroduce myself to my wife. She's coming with me, actually, which I break my number one rule, which is to never bring wives and girlfriends to cons because you get in trouble.
Especially when you bring both at the same time.
Yeah, you know, you get in trouble because, you know, there's this, we're like a small minority of mutants who are into comics, and you know, I don't apologize for this stuff. I love it, and it's you know, it's what I do, and it's, you know, it's either in your blood or it's not. But you know, getting girlfriends and wives to understand this stuff sometimes, they get bored really fast. They start exhaling a lot. You know?
So do I when I have to go shopping with them.
Start to feel the pressure. So I usually say, hey, look, you really should stay home. But we don't get. I don't get a chance to go on vacation in the summer. We usually try to go in the fall, so because so many cons. So we try to go in a couple days early and turn New York into a little vacation.
But that's the power of Shazam.
The power of Shazam and the power of Citibank. Heating up the credit cards.
You actually had a kind of an interesting outlook on Mocha, and I thought I'd have you share that with the listeners of why you like to do Mocha.
Mocha is the cool thing about Mocha is it's you don't see any of the normal books or any of the that you would normally see at a mainstream comic show, and the same with the people, the fans. It's just an entirely different crowd. New York is a lot more eclectic and open to any kind of stuff, whether it's written or it's cartoony. So it's just a B crowd. It's not like it's the same people. And New York, you get an interesting group of people on the weekends in the summer, especially because it's in the East Village, and you just love them or hate them. You can get a few eccentric, pretentious. I'm trying to change the world with my comic book types at that place, but for the most part, it's a lot of good stuff there. It's a lot of great shit, and it's just good. You really if you're doing comics and whether you're serious, whether your book is political or it's you're just trying to do stuff that you're doing for something that's trying to be a little more commercial. It's a necessary show to do those indie shows. Ape is similar, but New York is New York. New York is the whore. You got to go. It's worth it, but again, you're going to get 10% guys in capes, 90% comic books to deal with just whatever social commentary or politics or lots of gay books, all kinds of stuff. The gay penguins and shit like that.
Is there an inside joke?
A lot of that at Ape. You had like every imaginable animal just gay, and then they turn it into a comic book. The homosexual alligator, and I'm like, oh, it's great.
I can relate.
That's diversity, my friend.
Yeah, he comes out of the Everglades instead of coming out of the closet. That kind of thing.
That's when you just shake your head.
Peter, did you guys ever get? I know he was auditioning for Chippendales when he was down in Philly. How did that go?
The hell are you talking about?
Or was the Sugar Shack? Which one?
I believe it was the Rainbow Parrot.
You busted my balls.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Better watch. I got some dish on you.
All right, no, it was cool. I actually, to hang out with you guys and to put faces to the voices, and and you got. I mean this as a compliment and not as a diss to everybody else. But you guys are all normal. Buzz. That's the first thing he told me. He's like, it's cool that you guys are all normal. Sometimes you can get, people that are pushing something comic related, and they just, they're weird. I got guys on Sunday that just wouldn't leave the booth, that were just kind of a little strange. And you got to, you're nice to everybody, but sometimes you really got to kind of, you got to get the guy from Wild Kingdom to get the tranquilizer gun to get rid of him.
You got to call Steve over and have him move along.
I had a few. It was a 2-gallon ass juice day on Sunday. They had that damn costume contest, man, with the 400-pound Spider-Man with psoriasis. It was not pretty. Yeah, and it's like if you're not gonna shave your bush, you really shouldn't put on that spandex that's cut that close if you're a girl. Because this one girl could grow tomatoes. I swear to God, it was rough.
Earmuffs.
I mean, she was smuggling Brillo pads, man, when she walked by my booth. Because when I'm sitting down, I'm eye level with that shit, and it's rough. I mean, it's like, holy shit. It's that American cheese slices in the plastic, the separate slices, the individual slices when they walk by.
Oh,
yeah.
I think we just lost about 1,000 people. Just turned off their iPod.
But it gets summertime, man. You gotta clean between the pillows once in a while. You know? You got change between the pillows. You got to vacuum.
You got to stick that vacuum down there every once in a while.
You got to, yeah, you know. Nothing one of those little huggy wipes won't take care of. You know? I keep those things, you know.
They're handy.
Conventions are not all pretty, right?
You sit for 9 hours, man. It gets rough. It gets like a terrarium down there after a while. Start growing mushrooms and shit.
A whole subculture.
So Buzz goes, listen, and for those of you that don't know Buzz, it's just he's the second coming of Fu Manchu and like Kang from those old Conan books. It's the long nails, and he's very intimidating, and he's just you won't find a more talented guy. But, he snores like someone's choking him. And so he sleeps on my floor like a monk, and he uses a brick for a pillow and like a 2x4 to put his feet. And I got maybe 30 minutes sleep the whole night. Yeah, he starts chanting in his sleep and burning incense, and it gets rough. It gets crazy.
Oh,
it's like Grasshopper was in my room.
We want to thank you for coming out to dinner with us on Saturday night. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, man. Thanks for having me. I mean, you gotta let me return the favor at San Diego because, it's nice. I mean, it's like good conversation, and it's like I get tons of stuff, people that you gotta it becomes a cliche. Hey, let's have dinner. Let's this and that. But I mean, good conversation doesn't grow on trees at these things. You get at the wrong end of the table, and you just want to saw your own head off. You get with the wrong group of guys. It's just, and you get off on Boba Fett, and there's nothing to talk about. At least with you guys, we could talk about, whatever.
Thank God I didn't bring up that Boba Fett story.
Yeah, it's just, you get with the, it's not the people you go with, it's they bring people. Like you'll agree to go have dinner. Say, yeah, let's go have dinner, and then you go to the lobby, and it's like you go down there, and it's like the Osmonds are waiting to have dinner, and you're like, oh my God, who are all these people? And now I'm stuck at the end of the table with 20 guys I don't know, and so you're like, okay, well, what do you do? And you're like, well, nothing. And you in the comments, no. Okay, great. Now I'm having dinner with 5 total strangers. So it's cool when you can get together with a bunch of guys and everybody's sick and twisted, and the way you guys are. you all need psychiatric help the way I do, so it's good.
We blend right in.
Yep.
We could share our meds, that kind of thing.
Pass the meds.
But now, what you guys were set up? What was your angle of it? I mean,
it was good.
Yeah.
Setting up. I mean, was this was the second show you guys set up, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
After New York.
Yeah. Well, we did Pittsburgh too.
Okay, so the third one. All right. So you guys are getting more of the, it's a different angle when you're sitting, you're stationary for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, luckily there's 6 of us, so we can take turns and rotate and stuff like that. But yeah, for us, it's just all about meeting the listeners and,
right,
thanking them for being part of the show. That's pretty much our whole goal.
They're all very cool, man. You guys got some, you got some good guys that listen, that chime in and. But you guys haven't had your Artist Alley small press area experiences yet when they put you next to the wrong types.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate in that way. We've had a lot of good people.
I won't do small press anymore because my last small press was WonderCon when they put me next to the guys that sell the swords and the whatever. It's just they put ye old in front of everything and they call it like a Renaissance thing. And I had the 400-pound lady with the chainmail on breastfeeding the kid. Yeah, it was just all kinds of bad.
Ye old eyesore.
It was really, really bad.
Did you say ye old eyesore?
Yeah, it was like Joe Quesada breastfeeding somebody right next to me. She had the build of Joe Quesada. It was not a good scene. And I'm like, look, lady, and I said, hey, lady, look, I'm sorry, but I'm not squeamish, but you really got to feed that kid in front of me? And she says, oh, my God, what's your problem? It's natural and it's this and that. And I said, yeah, so's whacking off. I don't do it at my booth. couldn't tell which was where her tit ended and her stomach started. And I was like, I couldn't tell what was what.
We would like to interview Joe Quesada someday.
Oh, shit. Well, I'll never work for Marvel, so don't worry about it.
Hey, but you were hitting it off pretty good with John Romita Jr. at the bar there.
J.R. is a nice guy, and actually, I know Joe. I know Joe back when he had like Blonde Streaks, when he had a band. And Joe's a nice guy. Joe's in an impossible situation where everybody's hitting him up for work. So, but Joe's a sweet guy. I mean, I don't get into. I've gotten. I know different guys that have got different stories of, that if they've had problems, usually just work-related stuff. But just in terms of one-on-one, he's a nice guy. He would come on your show in a minute, and he's a cool interview, and he would tell you what you want to hear. He's Spanish, so you got to watch out, but,
Hey!
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I couldn't be serious for that long, right?
We already know that. We have Peter.
No, Joe's a nice guy. I mean, he's a good interview, and again, like I said, it's tough at those cons because everybody's hitting people up for work. You really got to kind of be political and say be nice, but every time I see him at a con, he's got a million freelancers all nagging him. So.
Do you have people come up to you and want you to hire them?
Oh, sure. I mean, well, I tell guys, don't just limit yourself to DC and Marvel. I mean, try to hit as many publishers as possible, and I try to be. You got to really be as honest and as straight with these guys as possible in terms of if you don't have work to give them or you're not offering work, don't play big shot. And yeah, I just tell them ahead of time. I'm really only I got one book right now, and that's all I'm doing. But in sometime down the line, we might start taking on other books, but we're not doing that right now, and I just tell them, hey, I'll look at your work and let you know what I think, but we're really not hiring. But I think Top Cow was, and they were right behind me. So I don't know what if they're adding new talent or it was just kind of a promotional thing.
So we can't do a story time with Uncle Sal without a story. And the one I want to hear, because I missed it at the bar, if you're willing to tell it, is the poodle story.
Well, I'm willing to tell it if it's not going to... if you guys aren't going to have, the FCC on your case.
No, there's no FCC in podcasting. We'll just...
Well, the poodle story...
started...
Wait, hold on. Let's do a disclaimer.
Let me just warn the audience that if there are kids nearby, it's time to get them out of the room.
If they haven't already.
If you're listening at work, put your headphones on.
Well, they left already.
Yeah.
Once they found out an Italian guy was going to be on the show, they cleared the room. It's like they won't sell kids spray paint. They won't let them listen to obnoxious kidneys on a podcast.
All right, so go ahead.
It started when I was in college. I mean, and I started. This is something that happened, and I never thought it was funny, and I still really don't think it's funny, but people seem to like it. But so I told it to somebody once, and then they passed it around, and I had people coming up to me asking about the poodle. And my wife thinks it's funny. So, but when I was a lifeguard, 75 pounds ago, when I looked like a human being, my friend used to have parties when his parents would go out of town. So he would have these, just basically a bunch of people, over drinking and destroying his house for a week. And, you're drinking, everybody's getting drunk. And so I hooked up with this one girl that was there, and she was one of these hippie types who would get high with her parents. They were very hippie, they were very liberal types. Her father was like the photographer from Apocalypse Now, that kind of thing. So, we're at a place and we're having a good time and everything's going along. And, it's like we're in there fooling around, everything's going well. I get up in the middle of the night because I had to piss like a maniac. And we were down in this rec room that she had. So down in the rec room, you got these bathrooms that are the size of phone booths. Like they make them, just a toilet and a half a sink. Right. I'm standing there, and I'm taking a piss, and on top of the toilet is a bowl of these little rose-shaped soaps. And so I'm just plastered at this point. So I start poking at these soaps, and I knock the bowl over. These soaps, and they go all over the floor. So I get down on my hands and knees, and I'm bare-ass naked. I get down on my hands and knees, and I'm picking these soaps up, and a bunch of them went behind the toilet. So I'm reaching way underneath the toilet to pick these things up. Now, mind you, I'm locked in here like a cat, a cow that's going in to get slaughtered at this point. And you know that little piece of skin between your ass hole and your balls? Okay? All of a sudden I feel like a piece of cold bologna licked me right there. And it was this fucking poodle she had. So I jumped 6 feet into the air, only I got a toilet over my head, so I banged my head on the toilet and I knocked myself unconscious. So now I'm out cold, laying on the floor, and the father wakes me up the next morning, going, "Hey man, are you okay?" And I didn't even know she had a dog. I'm like, I didn't know what it was. All I remember was this little salty, cold piece of bologna, licking me right in this little. I mean, this guy threw a strike. This is like 1 out of 1,000. That he hit this spot right between my ass and my balls. So it was again. People seem to find it humorous. I got knocked unconscious. I was seeing stars like in a Tom and Jerry cartoon. The stars were going in circles.
Oh my God!
All the best stories are about somebody else's pain. That's always what it is.
Right. But anyway, I saw the poodle the next day, and he looked like he had a good time. He had the snot coming out of his eyes, and he was sitting on the couch panting.
Smoking a cigarette?
Smoking a cigarette. I don't know what happened after that. I was out.
He took advantage.
I was knocked unconscious.
The original roofie.
It's just like you see in the cartoons. When you get knocked unconscious, you see stars. It's like,
yeah, you do.
So.
Oh man.
That's the infamous poodle story. Now, I can elaborate on things a little more, but I didn't want to get I didn't want to have you guys vomiting. So.
Oh, that's pretty.
But when you get down on your hands and knees and you're crawling under a toilet, man, watch your ass.
That's the moral of that story.
Yeah, like when they lock cows in, they're going to slaughter them. That's how I was under that toilet.
It's like Sal's fairy tales.
It was not good. It was. I still get the chills when I think about it.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Sal.
So.
Jeez.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry about that. That's great.
I'm sorry you got hurt.
I'm sorry.
Sorry you got molested.
I get in trouble, man. I got violated by like a 12-pound poodle. No, I'm sorry. 12 pounds. And I still to this day don't understand what the hell I was worried about picking up those soaps for. I mean, I did things to this girl you wouldn't do to a farm animal. And I'm worried about soap.
I heard there's some other story, something with your ass out the window.
Oh, we'll save that one for the next time.
Next time. Well, the ass out the window story is one of those. Yeah, that needs a setup, and that's like there's a documentary attached to that.
That's a good 15-minute adventure. That one.
Yeah, that's more of a survival thing.
You had John.
Where, like basically it's like me locking you in a room and saying you can't shit in a toilet, find somewhere to go, and you got about 90 seconds to do it in.
Is that in Saw 3?
Yeah, all I'm going to say is that if you've never taken physics in high school, if you shit out a window, it will not break. It'll just keep coming out like in Play-Doh Fun Factory. It'll just come out straight out. I mean, you'll have like a 20-foot noodle coming out of your ass, and it'll never stop. In a toilet, it breaks because you've got about 9 inches and it hits water, and then it just, your ass says, hey, it hit something, and it breaks right off. But if you stick your ass out a window, it'll look like those things on the side of Princess Leia's head. It'll just start curling.
Is that like a shit Rapunzel?
Yeah, no, really. I mean, if someone's walking down the street, they go, Jesus Christ,
like a window weight.
Look at the looks on that son of a bitch. So this shit wouldn't break, and I'm shaking my ass, and it's just turning into like all kinds of taffy. And it's January in Chicago, so it's steaming now. So I'm getting the steam coming up in that direction. So. Yeah, it was. It made a good. It froze. It looked like a sombrero the next day.
I can't breathe.
That's right.
The entire room is in tears.
It's like people kill me because I try to get guys to tell their best. Listen, and some guys get really pissed off, but I'm like, listen, we're all, it's like everybody at one time or another in their life has had to take a shit outside, because you've just gotten caught somewhere. You've gotten stuck or you couldn't get a bath, and it's like, it's funny to hear what happens to people because it's happened to everybody. Mm. And a lot of guys are like, oh, no, I want, and I'm like, oh, come on, what's the big deal?
Yeah, I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
Not out a window, but,
Come on, I worked construction for 21 years. Do I even have to tell it?
Yeah, it can be liberating when, you shit your pants a couple times.
Oh, Peter knows all about that.
Peter knows that, yeah. That's one story we told everybody as they came into the group.
The human storm.
You gotta, I remember, like some guys will really get like, oh, cut it all, stop it, they'll get all serious. And you're like, oh, stop.
Grow up.
They're probably the worst ones.
Yeah, you're right.
They're habitual pants shitters.
Oh yeah, I mean when I was a bartender, I had to keep rubber bands at the end of my pants legs so the shit wouldn't come out.
Oh.
You just kick a Snickers under the bar and nobody knows the difference.
I just finally got to breathe.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Under a bar, who's going to know the difference? It's like, come on.
I'm going to bring an oxygen tank next time.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Right.
Oh, my
it gets
God.
to be, where you just say, you gotta go.
Kick the Snickers.
So when's that Atomika trade coming out?
Atomika is, it's at the printers. They sent it back to me again, like I told you guys last time. And it was terrible, and they sent it back again, and it's being printed now. I wanted it for Philly, but those French Canadians,
Yeah.
And so it'll be out. But right now I'm trying to finish up 8, and it sucks trying to work and do shows this time of the year because as soon as you get settled, you got to pack a bag and get out the door again.
Hey, that pinup that Buzz did for you, what's that going to be printed in?
Which one?
Oh,
that Buzz did for me. Buzz did a lot of stuff. Oh,
well, he did the one with the archway.
He did a couple of them, and I'm trying to incorporate them in maybe possibly doing a litho for San Diego, but I think I'm going to do an Atomika sketchbook for San Diego. I had one of my designer guys that I work with make it into a retro cover, kind of like what Larson did with Savage Dragon, make it look like a 1970s aged cover. Cool. So I had a really nice Ramita pinup that I used for the back of number 4,
Yeah.
but they colored it a little too, modern looking. I wanted them to use flat color, primary colors, and so I'm going to do a sketchbook. Everybody does sketchbooks for San Diego, and I figured, what the hell, I'll do one.
All right, cool.
Awesome.
I got a lot of deranged shit that nobody ever seen, so I figure, what the hell. Good stuff. You got to be. Those are the things that people seem to really like to collect at San Diego. Those sketchbooks.
And they go for hotcakes. I've been trying to acquire a couple over the years just through other means, and boy, they get expensive.
Well, you know what you got to do. If, instead of bouncing around from guy to guy, just go to Bud Plant at San Diego because he buys. He buys after the shows. He buys like whatever these guys got left. So if you missed the Adam Hughes sketchbooks or everybody's got one. Travis Charis has got a real nice one. Just pick them up from him. He's got a huge booth at San Diego. But yeah, you're right. They get pricey. They get like $10-15 a piece, and those things cost like nothing to print. And those are like a buck or something at Kinko's.
So are we going to get the tour of Sal Abbinanti when we go out to Chicago?
Yeah. It's weird. The problem with Chicago is, over the years I've tried to get guys to come into town, because Chicago's really not in Chicago. It's out at Rosemont, and it's 15 minutes on a bad day to get into the city. So, but a lot of times, people are at the show, and after the show they're tired and they don't really want to drive in, but Yeah, we'll definitely. I know a bunch of good places, good restaurants, stuff to do. So how many? Now everybody's not coming in for Chicago, right? There's a couple of you, right?
Right.
Yeah, me, Shane, and Jamie.
You, Shane.
You, Shane,
Well,
and Jamie?
well, I'm like
me, Shane, okay.
Shane, and Jamie.
Oh, we'll have a good time.
Myself and
Chicago is a little close to San Diego, but it is what it is. But rumor is next year is the disaster year because San Diego's moving it up 2 weeks next year, and there's going to be literally you get home from San Diego on Monday, and that Friday Chicago starts.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. And I talked to Wizard about it, and they said they're gonna try to change it, but they don't know if they can because they got a contract with the Stevens Convention Center. But San Diego, definitely is 2 weeks later next year. Huh. So that's going to be they're going to be back to back, and that's probably going to kick Chicago's attendance in the ass.
No, there's 2 weeks of vacation.
Yeah. No, I mean some guys are you may as well just go right from San Diego
right
to Chicago.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to go home.
Wow.
You got to start setting up like that Wednesday.
Flight, man, it might be cheaper.
Yeah,
they got that Thursday preview thing now at Chicago.
We'll book flight from Philadelphia to San Diego and San Diego to Chicago and Chicago back home.
Yeah. But you guys, you tied it on pretty good. You talk about me. You guys were putting them down pretty good on Friday.
Yeah, Peter. That's what I heard. You had to cut yourself off.
Peter's on a first-name basis with Malibu and Captain Morgan. He's pretty tight with Captain Morgan.
I figured the 2 minutes that I fell asleep on the stool, that was enough.
Yeah, he took a dive. I saw him take a dive. He was catching flies there. And I said, but there's nothing worse than when you're tired and you have a couple of cocktails.
Yeah.
Because, you really start losing it. And, as long as you don't you're not spitting on yourself while you're doing it. You're all right. I did it again this flight where I sleep as soon as I get on the plane, and I'm getting like Fred Sanford where I fart in my sleep on the plane and I piss people off sometimes. Yeah, you ever do that? You're sleeping and you fart and then you wake yourself up and you're like, oh, God, what the hell happened? And I'm getting like a Rottweiler.
Oh, yes.
Because I'm worried that my brain doesn't tell the ass not to shit and that I might shit my pants while I'm sleeping because my ass figures, well, you don't know what's going on.
Oh, and the person you're sitting next to on the plane would not appreciate that.
No, the lady looked at me like I was, I was Damien. And I was like, lady, what do you want from me? What do you want? What do you want me to do? What did I do? I mean, I fell asleep. I didn't bother you. All right, I let one squeak. It wasn't a rough one. It was just like one of those. It sounded like a cornet, that kind of thing.
That's a short flight,
Yeah, it smelled like that spring scent, and ass. That kind of thing together.
Yeah. Oh my God. Sal is the best.
I try to get the flights over with as quickly as possible. So I just sit down and I'm out cold. I sleep right away when I get on the plane.
Sal, it adds a whole new dimension now that we've met you and talked to you to envision you telling all this stuff.
Right? Yeah. Well, you're probably more horrified now.
All I know is that we're gonna have fun in San Diego.
Yeah. No. All bullshit aside, San Diego is. Yeah, San Diego is a blast, and I try to talk as many people as I can into going because there's nothing. There's so many intangibles about that show. Like Philly's a great show, Chicago, all these shows, they're all great shows, but San Diego has so many of these peripheral things that make it such a good time that I tell them, I go, guys, if you're into the stuff like we're into it. This is like it's like Disneyland when you go to San Diego, because everybody's there. Every artist, every writer, every publisher, everybody you want to meet is there, and the nightlife is great. The food, the weather, the costumes. You can't believe these people. These are like state of the art. The shit that they come up with, and then now Hollywood's jumped on board, and it can get pricey. You got to save your money because it's a week. But, it's like, man, for me, it's like a vacation. I really look forward to it every year. We're going to have a good time.
Awesome.
The sleep deprivation starts to get to you, though, after a while. You know, it's because it's not the going to bed late, man. It's getting up early. It really kicks your ass at San Diego. Because I got to be at the booth at like 8 o'clock every morning. And it's not a good thing. I mean, I'm like a methadone addict by Saturday.
Does the show floor open at 9? Is that it? I can't remember.
It opens at 9, but you see, they've got these. You know, you're not supposed to be on the floor until 9 if you're not an exhibitor and you're not really working on something. But people manage to get exhibitor passes, through friends and whatever. So you're setting up, and you've got people that get in early because they want to get the jump on everybody. So while you're trying to set up, you've got a lot of people in there, milling around trying to get your stuff. So you really, you can't kind of just show up whenever at San Diego because by 10 o'clock the place is packed.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you're really you've got. I like to treat it. I have a better time when I treat it like as professionally as possible, and I'm there from wire to wire. And you get out of there at 7 o'clock, and it's like, all right, guys, let's go. You're ready to go. Because you got nothing. The food there is bad inside. You got the same convention food, like being in a POW camp. The food place.
But then you get to go outside and ride the rickshaws.
Yeah, you got to ride the. Yeah, you get those. You ride the rickshaws, and I'm not a big rickshaw riding guy because you need they need the Clydesdales to pull my ass in one of those things. But see, you don't even really need those because you got everything right across the street, the gas lamp area.
Yeah.
Where are you guys staying now?
We
when you go to San Diego.
We're like 13 blocks. Let me check. I have the name of the hotel here.
They got shuttles, so I mean the shuttles are great. You jump on those, it's
I got it written down somewhere.
You got it organized great. In front of the con, at the end of every day, and in the morning, they got the shuttles are lined up, and they'll take you to any hotel you're at. Unless you're like at the Waffle House, with my friends at the airport.
We're at the Radisson Harbor View, so it's.
Oh yeah, okay. If you're Harbor View, you're right there. You're walking distance. So.
Yeah.
And you guys are rock stars, so you show up at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, right.
You walk in with the ascot on and the pipe. And Peter's got the Hugh Hefner robe on, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
He'll be in his PJs the entire time.
That's right. I got on the plane. That's why I can't fly Southwest anymore, because you get the hillbillies that wear the cut-off sweatpants that got a boner. They walk down the aisle, and you're like, what is this?
And that's where we're flying in, aren't we?
Southwest is like the Greyhound of the airlines, and I won't do it anymore. Because I always get next to the guy with the cut-off sweatpants, the black cocktail socks, and a boner.
We flew Southwest and last year, and we're doing it this year, and Jamie was on the end, and the guy in the aisle up from him on the other side was reading a Playboy, like right there out in the open.
Yeah, I should believe it.
It's the quality of life. I mean, I sat next to a guy that had like a kitten in a shoebox one time.
Jeez.
Because they don't have luggage. They got like a garbage bag, or they got they take a bag and they wrap it with rope and they put it under their arm and they get on and they try to sneak beer on the plane, that kind of thing. And I'm like, you need a cover charge on airplanes. You really do.
Cover charge.
You got to keep out you really got. If you can answer like 3 hee-haw, trivia questions, I don't want you on my airplane. I don't want you on there. I don't. Because I know they get, they brush their tooth and they're ready for their vacation, but not on the plane I'm on. I'm sorry.
They're ready for their time in a big city.
They're ready for the time in a big city, man. It's like, I'm sorry, keep your beef jerky, and it's like, you need a cover charge. You got to wipe out the riffraff. But since 9/11, they don't tolerate anything anymore on the airplane. You gotta watch your ass, or they'll throw you off for nothing. If you get mouthy or you come on the plane drunk, they'll throw you off in 2 seconds. We're gonna have a good time, guys.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
You guys are just slumming, right? You're not setting up.
Yeah, we don't have a booth at that show, so we'll just be bopping around.
Well, you see, this is this is what usually, it's kind of usually what squashes people. If you're thinking about it for 07, get your paperwork in when you go to them this year, and then you'll be good for next year. That's how far in advance it trickles down with San Diego.
Yeah.
If you want small press or whatever. And plus, you save a ton of dough. if you put your paperwork in, by, I think it's before October, you get like a 25 to 30% discount on whatever it is.
No, that's nice.
Like I was telling Peter, man, I'll sponsor you guys for, half a booth or something like that. It's no problem.
Oh, that's very generous.
If you got, as well as you guys are doing with the stuff, and as much as your fan base is growing, San Diego's a must. Other shows, you can kind of pick and choose, but San Diego's almost like, I tell guys, that's the one you really, if you're going to blow your wad, that's the one. Because, you run into so many people. You're talking about, and they're real modest with their numbers. I would say it's 120,000 over the course of the 5 days.
That's a massive amount of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
I can definitely see that.
It's great because the weekend is all the Hollywood types that come up, so you get all kinds.
Yeah, you never know who's going to be walking by.
No, that's the weirdest thing about it is it's every producers, movie people, and music industry, and everybody goes. It's turned into like a big culture thing. Then you got the gaming, and then you got all the international guys at San Diego, which you just never see at other cons. Hong Kong and Japan, and all the European publishers are there.
Yeah, last year I was just walking along, and I looked over, and I was like, "Hey, that kind of looks like Gene Simmons from Kiss," and I was like, that is Gene Simmons from Kiss."
Yeah, no, you see Mobia, you'll see everybody there. You'll have a lot of star sightings at San Diego. Nicky Knockers and Candy Samples and Harry Reams, they're all there. And that was the other thing. I'm in my hotel, and they got this, they got the porn in the hotel, which I stumbled upon by accident. I was looking for the Education Channel. Looking for the Discovery Channel. I heard they had a thing about cheetahs I wanted to watch. So I happened to come across, they got oldies, and I'm an old bastard. I go back to the 8mm days. So they got a John Holmes retrospect, and nobody remembers John Holmes anymore. But I grew up with John Holmes, and he was the guy, one of those guys that you wanted him to die a slow, painful death because he had these huge penis, And I got just a standard Army issue, but I'm happy with it. I got no complaints.
Standard Army issue.
Yeah, I got the one they're handing out at the door. I say, hey guys, be happy if you got that. Don't think you need to walk around and act like you're a big shot on you. And I'm watching, so I go, hey, Deep Throat, which is like 100 years old, and so I read the damn thing, and the first hour is just Linda Lovelace driving around in a car.
Yes.
And I'm going, who said in on this production meeting that they somehow had money for a car to make a porno movie? and I fell asleep. I swear to God, I woke up and the movie was over. That's how old I'm getting. I passed out, and it was 40 minutes into it, and it was just absolutely no skin, so I said, I'm going to bed. There's nothing going on here,
I have that on DVD. You want me to make you a copy?
No, I just, you know what I'm saying? It's like an hour of her driving, and I'm like, okay, where she's reflecting. I'm like, all right. I don't really need to know her all that well. I'm not buying insurance from this lady. Can we just kind of cut to the chase? Or what's going on here with this?
Oh, but she was such a fine actress.
She was, I know she's Meryl Streep. And I know she went to Lee Strasberg. But I'm like, lady, can we just put something in each hand already and let's go? What's happening? We know your father did a wonderful job with you. Let's go. Your parents are very proud of you.
Meryl Streep at gunpoint.
Oh, man.
We know the story. Listen, you realize that probably the quality of your listeners has just probably dropped by about 8 or 9 grades in school at this point, right?
Yeah, but you know that your episodes are the most popular ones. People clamor for them.
Yeah, it's because it's like a train wreck. They gotta see the dead bodies. There's something about it.
The dead body laying under the toilet with the poodle licking ass.
Right.
The dead body.
But now, what's? And I'm being totally honest. I'm not being one of these guys who's like, oh, I'm too cool. I don't read that stuff. What's the big thing now in comics? Is it the crossovers, or what the hell are they doing?
Yeah.
Civil War? Because I really don't. I was talking to these guys yesterday about what's going on, and I really don't know. I don't get to the comic store as often as I'd like.
Yeah, we're heavily invested in Civil War.
It's a big event comics.
And
for
in
the-
52 from DC.
And Annihilation and Infinite Crisis.
And that stuff's all like gangbusters, selling really well and all that. And,
Oh, yeah.
Well, being ordered very well, I guess we should say, you know.
And that's the big thing that the companies are pushing, those two.
Oh, big time. Big time. And actually, I mean, it's all, so far, all of it's been very good. You know, all the DC stuff, all the Marvel stuff, it's been excellent. So
It's been good.
It hasn't been like past events where it was all, you know, hype and no delivery. This is actually good.
Like the Jim Lee, Frank Miller stuff.
Oh.
No, I like both
kinda
of
like
them. I love both of them. You know, my Asian quote is full. You know, because I know Jim Lee and Buzz. Buzz is you know like as far as I'll take it. But I was a little disappointed. I just expected it to be a little grittier, I guess. You know, but people said it was selling really well and it was doing, and you know, I heard how late it was, but. It doesn't matter how late he is at that book. People will buy it. They love the guy, and he's a good artist. So you know, Jim Lee is bulletproof. His stuff will always sell.
Yeah. The hottest small press stuff right now is Mouse Guard. That's like.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. I sat up next to him at Toronto last year, and he's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Real sweet guy. I was there with his wife, and you know, it was interesting. One guy's got a mouse. The other guy's got a bald Russian guy. It was good. It was an interesting thing. Yeah, Buzz was saying it was selling really well in New York, Mouse Guard.
Yep.
That's where he goes to.
I just unloaded the first 2 issues on eBay.
You're terrible.
$49.
You're terrible. You have no soul. You're awful.
I did it so I'd have money to buy the Atomica trade.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I got it.
So now you can buy,
you've
what,
been
4
hanging
copies
around
of it?
You got to stop hanging around those guys over there, man. It's getting bad.
Heavy.
eBay, God, some of the shit that I bought on eBay. Oh my God.
Oh no.
One time I bought a run of like Slurpee cups, and it seemed like a great idea at 3 a.m. when I was drunk. And the box comes, and the box smells like the lining of your grandmother's purse. You know, you get it and you go, what? What was I thinking when I bought like 127 Slurpee cups for like $18? And they're yellow and they're faded and half of them are broke. And I'm like, I got to stay off eBay. But what eBay's great for are runs or lots. Like, let's say there's a run of a book you like. You can get like whole runs of, like, say, you know, I like the stuff from the 70s and the 60s. So I'll get on there and I'll type in like Buscema, Thor, you know, run, and you could get like the whole, you know, like without any issues missing, really inexpensively, because a lot of these comic stores around the country, they just want to get rid of some of this back stock.
Right.
And, you know, you go to cons, my God, some of these guys are nuts. The prices they ask for quality back issues compared to what you can get them for on eBay is ridiculous. So I've bought a lot of comics on eBay. You know, hard to find stuff, too.
I've sold a lot on eBay.
You what?
Yeah. You probably bought stuff from Peter.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah? Just the porn I think I bought from Peter.
Peter's like the eBay mogul. That's how he buys all his comics, by selling all his old comics.
Well, Peter, his other job is he sells those Polaroids of himself on eBay, doesn't he?
That's right.
They don't sell.
No, he has to pay.
No, they don't sell?
He sells his used underwear.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I believe eBay's where...
Because we were getting into that dancer conversation, you know, because he's a dancer. And I told him, I said, you know, USOB, man, dancers, those are like the Fosse girls.
Better believe it.
That's like all the masturbation material right there, you know, the female dancers.
They know how, they're just gorgeous. I think every girlfriend I've had has come out of a show, from a show. I don't think I've ever met anybody else.
And you just, does it all start with, hey, you want to rehearse, or how does that work?
Yeah, that would be a better story if he wasn't directing middle school shows.
All right, man, I'm telling you. It's going to be one of those, I could see it now. But that's how it goes with the art scene. I mean, when I was in art school, I was the only straight guy in the whole art school. Of course, when I went to art school, it was the Cyndi Lauper era where they all had the shaved heads.
Oh.
Or it looks like they stuck the waffle iron to the side of their head kind of thing. So if you're straight and you're into the arts, whether you're an actor, a dancer, or an artist, oh, man. I mean, it's like, you know, ringing the dinner bell. It's raw.
Like a buffet.
Well, I mean, like down at the convention, all those girls around like David Mack, or in New York around Paul Pope and those guys. I mean, they're those are good looking comic creators and those.
Yeah, Mac's the exception. Mac's got yellow fever. Mac's big with the he only likes the Asians. No, I'm not saying anything out of turn. Mac will be the first to tell you. My wife's half Japanese. What am I talking about? When I get off the phone, I'm probably gonna have a star in the back of my head. Paying attention.
Throwing star.
Yeah, man.
We had to explain that one to Peter. He was lost.
That's right.
We had to tell him it was a throwing star. He was puzzled.
No, Cassidy's the same way. Cassidy. I told him. I said, John, you better relax. You're gonna wake up and your dick's going to look like a baby's foot if you don't relax. He's at the cons, and, he's got these groupies chasing him around, but, they all got crotch crickets, the ones that chase John around. I mean, I'd like the penicillin concession at Cassidy's apartment. He's John's a great guy, but, he's like, He's like, living La Vida Loca, that son of a bitch. He needs to slow down.
Well, we met him in New York at this cool little Moroccan bar or something we were at.
Yeah.
And he was introduced to us, and it was Peter, Jamie, myself, and Tasha, my wife. And John, he just barely looked at the three of us, and he just focused right in on Tasha, gave her a big hand, the double handshake, and was just totally talking to her, ignoring the rest of us.
He was talking to her breasts. That's all he was talking to.
Yeah, he wants to wear her ass for a hat, that guy. I'm telling you. And he does the same thing with my wife. And I tell him, I said, John, listen, you do realize that I will just push you over a balcony. I won't, I'll push people like I don't know what happened. I'll hit him with my car, I mean, I tell him, I said, listen, I love you, and you're a nice guy, and you're Irish, so you can say, I was drinking, but I don't fall for that shit. He's a sweet guy, but he needs to settle down because, it's not going to be pretty one of these days.
People who make it look like an accident.
No. See, the thing about Cassidy is that he's such a nice guy that he plays that passive-aggressive shit. We're like, oh, what are you talking about? And it's like, John, come on. I'm not as dumb as I look, please. And, it's a good thing, though. He's good for comics. He's a sweetheart. But, he's a little too much in the, chase and tail department for his own good.
He's not going to stop as long as he keeps winning Eisners, As
long as he keeps, What do you win? 2 years in a row? Oh, okay, one for Planetary and for X-Men, right?
Yeah, 2 years in a row. Yeah.
He's a good guy. He deserves it. He's not my favorite, but he's a great artist. I mean, he's not what I'm more of a JR guy. That's the kind of stuff I like more. John's the realist stuff is really. I mean, I appreciate it, and I can look at it and go, "Wow, this is great stuff." And he's a great artist, and I like his designs. And actually, he offered to do an Atomika piece for me, but then he got real busy. But it's not the kind of stuff that when I go to the store that I really jones over. I'm more of I like stuff that's a product of the guy's imagination more than trying to look realistic, which is interesting because it worked for Alex Ross, so I better shut up. Did I say that? I'm sorry. I'll be cutting limes again. You guys will come visit me at the bar.
All right, Sal. We're at an hour.
You've had enough?
We're almost at 2 hours.
You've been dipped in acid? You've had enough? You've had enough of your toenails pulled out? You can't take it anymore?
We'll have you on again after San Diego and Chicago. Then
yeah, and after San Diego, we're going to have to, you guys are going to have to do your shows from the clinic, from the AA meeting.
Sounds good to me.
All right, senor.
You know what else I got to do? My writer is that I always feel bad that I never mentioned my writer, Andrew.
Oh, right.
He's such a big part of the book, and he's such a great writer.
Andrew Dabb.
And he's doing a lot of Hollywood stuff, and he's doing some other books for. He's doing a lot of the. He's doing some stuff for Devil's Due, and he does a lot of stuff around. He did a couple different series for small guys, and I feel bad because it's not just me with Atomika. I mean, we plotted together, but the writing and that stuff, that's all him. I mean, and he's a great writer.
Yeah.
I hope he gets more mainstream gigs.
He actually on his he threw a mention out to you, one of your past interviews on his website or blog, and you're right. Yeah, we shouldn't forget him.
Yeah, no, I just because he listens to your show, and whenever I talk to him, he's like, you're such an asshole. You never mention me. And I'm like, hey, come on, take it easy. I'm too busy talking about poodles and shitting. I ain't got time for this.
Where do you fit in?
But MercuryComics.com. I think that's why I came on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the book. I'm working on number 8 out pretty soon. It's got my favorite cover of the whole series. Got the Claudio Castellini cover, and I just commissioned Arthur Sidem, this guy that does Marvel Zombies covers, to do a cover for me.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, I wanted him originally to do something very Frazetta-ish, and he's going to do the cover of the annual where it's the issue where Atomika battles the United States. So I got him over New York City with all the ruins of the Statue of Liberty, that kind of thing.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, so he's a great painter. I mean, you guys know from those Marvel Zombie covers.
Right. Awesome. We look forward to seeing that and hearing about it.
Yeah, and again, we're doing the sketchbook for San Diego, and I bring in extra bail money for you guys.
Thanks. And it looks like I'll probably be heading up to Mocha on Saturday, so I'll catch you there.
Cool. Yeah, we'll definitely have to get together. And you staying in the city, or you just heading right back?
I think so. Yeah. At this point, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're supposed to have good weather too.
Yep. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's a good show. And there's a lot of cool stuff going on upstairs too. They got a lot of they got different things that they do in the different ballrooms upstairs. I think they got a couple of parties too after the show.
Cool.
Good time.
Sounds
Thanks,
good.
guys. Thanks for having me on.
Hey,
You bet.
anytime.
Thanks,
I
Sal.
appreciate it.
Can't wait to
Sal.
meet up with you again.
Yeah, we'll see you this weekend. And anything you need, or again, in the way of stuff for Atomika or anything else, and if your fans
That'd be cool.
want to email me and tell me how terrible I am and I corrupted you guys, it's fine.
They're already
It
writing
was good
hate
seeing
mail.
you this weekend. Thanks again for dinner.
Hey, no problem.
Hey, you're welcome.
I'm
Pleasure.
sorry again for introducing you to Buzz. 'Cause you'll never be the same now, ever again. It'll be your life before you met Buzz and now that you've met Buzz.
Pre-buzz, post-buzz.
Yeah, he's kind of like in the Katrina category.
Ow.
He's like a natural phenomenon, that guy. And any of your fans that are ever, perusing cons, and you guys can vouch for me. You're in Artist Alley and you don't get something, a commission or a sketch from this guy, you got to be crazy, because he's probably, in my opinion, he's one of the best there is.
Yeah, he had some sweet stuff.
Yeah, I'll attest to that.
He's such a good artist.
Brilliant stuff.
You got to definitely stop by his table when you're in Artist Alley. And besides, you can cook too. So.
Well, all right, Sal.
Ask him the ancient Chinese secret of how to clean your laundry. My husband, some hot shot.
Ancient Chinese
Ancient
secret,
Chinese secret, huh? Buzz knows it.
On that note, we'll talk to you soon.
You got the NAACP and the Chinese groups after me now.
We're in tow.
All right, buddy.
All right, guys.
Thanks again, Sal.
See you soon.
All right, man. Take care of yourselves. I'll
You
see you
do the
this
same.
weekend.
All righty.
Have a good night.
All right, stay out
Bye-bye.
of trouble.
Yeah, you too.
Never.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Oh, always a
Never
great
dull.
time with Sal.
Never dull.
Oh, I think I lost about 20 pounds laughing. I swear.
Oh, my.
I was about to list some things from previews that we missed, but we'll
Yeah.
save it for another
Yeah.
day because I don't know. Either people aren't listening or they're just wiping their eyes from tears. I don't know.
This episode of Comic Geek Speak was brought to you by Athena Voltaire from Ape Entertainment. As world powers escalate to the inevitability of World War II, another war is being fought between the forces of white and black magic. Nazi occultists race to unlock the secrets of the Hollow Earth and a lost race of supermortals. Can globe-trotting aviatrix Athena Voltaire foil the Third Reich in their insidious plan to conquer the free world? Ape Entertainment is proud to announce the return of High Adventure with the debut of Athena Voltaire, Flight of the Falcon, a 4-issue miniseries debuting in August. The series kicks off with a double-sized first issue, 48 full-color pages, for only $4.50. See what all the fuss is about with a 22-page online preview at www.athenavoltaire.com/preview.html. And to send us emails complaining or complimenting Sal, you can send them to comicgeekspeak@gmail.com and visit our website at comicgeekspeak.com. And if you want to know more about Atomica, go to mercurycomics.com.
And you can get back issues at rupsworld.com.
Thank you, Peter. Leave us a voicemail at 206-888-4805. And a reminder that we are brought to you in conjunction with worldfamouscomics.com, your spot on the internet for the best comic book and entertainment-related columns, contests, features, reviews, news, resources, and more. And as always, we are brought to you... I don't know what I'm saying. I'm totally, flabbergasted now from Sal's adventures. As always, we're uniting the world's mightiest heroes, one listener at a time.